everybody. My name is Aubrey, and I am so excited to come to you today live to talk about how to create a consistent party schedule. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that if you don't run a party business, just know that these tips can hopefully help you in same thing, whatever your main way of running your business is, appointments or events, things like that, okay? So first and foremost, why? Why do you want to have consistency in your party calendar? For one, it really helps you to get better at your job. Okay, so if you think about it, if you do multiple parties back to back, what happens? You get better and better at your presentation and you kind of get in the zone. If you've ever gone, a couple of weeks in between doing parties, you notice you get a little bit rusty. That actually happened to me over the holiday season. I took a couple weeks off and going back, I was like, oh man, I am a little bit rusty. So, being consistent in that party schedule keeps you on your A game. Also, if you have ever heard a direct seller say, or somebody who's looking at the business say, oh my gosh, I need something that is consistent as far as a paycheck goes. Well, guess what? If you maintain a consistent party schedule, you are going to also maintain a consistent income in this business. I really, truly believe that. So pretty exciting. So how do we do that? How do we maintain a consistent party schedule? First thing is you've got to make a plan and you've got to stick to it. Okay, so you want to decide which days you are going to work your business. So if you decide, you know what, I want to do one party a week, what day is that party going to be? Is it going to be Fridays? Figure out what works best for you and your schedule, you and your family, and really commit to working your business during that time each and every week. It is huge to be able to have a weekly business, okay? Hi, Christy. So decide when you're going to work. Next, overbook yourself by 20 to 30%. We've all had cancellations, postponements in our businesses, right? And so instead of being super defeated and bummed out when somebody cancels a party on you, overbook yourself because then you are still okay and you're still going to reach those goals for the month. Next, when somebody does postpone their party, particularly those last minute postponements that can sometimes be a little bit difficult to, rebook because of your time, really think about, you know what, I committed to myself that I would go out and work this day. So guess what? Still go out. I used to have to go to the coffee shop down the street when my kids were little because if I was home, it would make it a little bit more difficult to work my business. So I would literally pack up my things, go to the coffee shop, and I would sit and make reach outs until I got the 2 to 3 bookings that I would have had doing a party that night. So if you've committed to work that day, continue to work, even if something happens and that party falls through, okay? It is really huge and will really, really help you in your consistency within your business. Next tip for you to creating a consistent party calendar is to become an expert at booking parties from your parties. And I will tell you that this is such a huge key to the success in your business in general, not just consistency, right? So how can you do that? Well, one thing is your company probably has tons of training on booking. When was the last time you went through and, trained yourself, got the information that you need to be successful in your business? Also, think about who is rocking and rolling that that you could go observe a party and see how people are booking parties within your company. So maybe it's your sponsor, maybe it's your upline leader, maybe it's a sister consultant who is just on fire right now. Ask her if you can come along and just be a fly on the wall, okay? And take those tips and tricks and use those in your own business. I'll tell you guys another little secret that has worked really well for me in the past too is go to other people's home parties. Some of the best things that I've implemented in my business, I have gotten from consultants in totally different companies. So watch what other people are doing and, try those things within your business because clearly it works. Next, third really big tip for you in creating a consistent party schedule is your follow-up. And that's one of the things that I absolutely am in love with the Amy app for, because it makes it so easy for you to be able to follow up with your customers. But really, truly, at the end of the day, we are in a relationship-based business. So you've got to take time to really foster those relationships with your customers, with your hosts, with anybody who's maybe even looking at your business opportunity as well. And so consistently reaching out to them is going to be huge, okay? So here's the thing. When you do what you say you're going to do, which is follow up with your customers and provide awesome customer service, your customers are going to be more likely to trust you and more likely to want to do business with you again in the future. And that means opening up their home to you and their friends, right? So, let's think about who do you want to follow up with in your business? First, of course, your customers. One of the amazing things that happens with your customers, oftentimes when they get their product in after they've attended a party, they're going to wear that product or they're going to be talking about that product when they go to work that next day. You guys, this is an awesome opportunity for you to be able to slide in and just say, hey, did you get your product? Are you loving it? Because a lot of times what I hear when I make that reach out is, oh my gosh, all the ladies at work are going crazy for this. I think I might want to do a party after all, right? So this is such a crucial time to reach out because you just never know what they're talking about behind those closed doors when you're not in that room. Next, keep track of the people that said not now. So your custom filters, I hope you guys are using those in the Amy app. I always put things like postponed in there, and we'll talk about that in a minute. People that are future hostesses. So you're able to mark people as a host, right? Or a potential host. So keep track of those people. Make a note. So if somebody says, I really want to host a party, but I can't this month because my daughter is getting married and life is crazy, ask her when is a good time to follow up, and then follow up. So in your notes section, you can create a custom reminder. Put in there, daughter getting married, follow up in a month, and then make sure that you follow up in a month. Again, do what you promised your customer you would do, okay? Next is follow up with those people that had to postpone. So like I said, I use a custom filter to mark everybody in my business who has ever postponed a party. If they said yes once, there's a good chance they will say yes again. Sometimes life just gets in the way, things happen, and they're unable to hold that party. Are you reaching back out to see if now is a better time to get that date set, okay? And then last but not least is reaching back out to your past hostesses, right? Anytime you have a new product launch, how exciting is that for a past host to be the first to be able to introduce the new line, right, to her friends? They already love it. They already know what you're all about. And it's a really great thing. In fact, I want to share with you guys a little script that is one of my faves for reaching back out to past hostesses. And it really sets a precedent for, doing this every year, right? So you could say, oh my goodness, Sarah, can you believe it's been almost a year since your last party? Let's get our calendars together and set a date for your second annual party. We have so many fun new items to check out. Okay, obviously you can customize that according to what it is that you sell, but make that reach out. And if you've marked your custom filters again with your host, I do month and year so that as we start to get into February, I can go in and pull all of my February hosts from last year and send them that quick message to get them back on my calendar for this year, okay? So with all of that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with a quote today from The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, which is, success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. I hope you guys all have an amazing day.